The other thing I want to walk you through today now is one of the recent addition we made to Paradime, which is support for Git blame and Git lens in general. Let's look at a few use cases. So let me go back and I'm going to go and search for my file. So I'll open this one here. And on the left panel, we added this new feature, which allows you to see and understand a little bit more about what happened in a given file over time. So as more people will work on different branches against the same file, we create a history, right? So we want to be able to understand what this history looks like in there. Let's start with, actually, I'll take another example here of something I know that we've changed recently. So I can see on this file here, there are a couple of things. One is you can now hover, as I select one line, I can see the Git blame, which is the recent Git commit message I had on this particular line about this change. And from here, I can see the commit headers, I can see the changes and a few other metadata information available to me. While I'm on a certain amount of lines, I can actually see, and this is actually quite useful, I can see the history of that line over time, right? So in a larger code base, you might have 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 100 of commits on the same line. I can actually see how that line of code has evolved. So I can actually click on this and I can say, okay, in the previous commit, this is what the file looked like. Okay, we changed the source name in here. The other thing, I'll just close this for a sec, is we can see the file history. I'm just going to collapse here. So this again is not to a specific line, but just generically, we can actually see all the history of all the commits that have happened here. I can see that, okay, if I want to go back to this commit, there were a bunch of commits that happens to this file prior. If I want to go and change, let me just put a different branch name, different files. If I want to go and go back to sources in here, so I can see my file history of how this source file has changed. And these are all different commits that have happened over time to this file. So again, from auditability perspective, to really understand what happened to a given file, you can now do this in Paradime out of the box. It kind of like brings so much more visibility within anyone's Git workflows there, which is pretty awesome. The other thing is that sometimes you might come across a scenario where you want to search for a given commit. Right. So when I was like, hey, I remember we made this change and we created commits, but I don't remember where we did this. So you can actually use the search commit feature. You can search by message, by the order, by the commit SHA files, if you want. And this is where using Dino AI to generate those commit messages to be a lot more contextual, it helps you because then also the search is a lot easier. So I can search for something like this, and I can see here, okay, it returns to me a bunch of commit messages that contain the word rename. And I can actually go here and explore a little bit more about what this file looked like and what did we do here. So it really gives you now the ability with Git Lens in Paradime to navigate left and right through all your commit history without having to be effectively a Git expert, which I think is a massive helper for my teams. As teams have started migrating into GitLite, I see less and less people using Git Advanced. It's more like a preference at this point, but the commit message with Dino AI is definitely the killer feature everyone loves.